new idea to do Tuesday talks for my channel, which is basically self-explanatory. I would just have random videos of me just talking about anything on Tuesdays rather than me just making so many rambling videos all the time, because I know that my channel was just getting really rambly and kind of off track because there was just a lot going on in my life. And when I got a new computer, it was hard for me to get everything together and figure everything out, but now that I have, it's better, and I want to do more things with my channel and take more requests. And yeah, so on Tuesdays will be the signature Teeny Whispers rambles. It's actually really not Tuesday, it's kind of really Wednesday because it's 2:30 in the afternoon, 2:30 in the morning. But you all know that I don't sleep, so I'm just gonna be awake. But I planned on just talking about random things, but instead I think I want to talk about a topic, and it's about my uncle. The reason why I want to talk about my uncle is because he passed away almost 3 years ago. His 3-year mark is on January 22nd. And I was thinking about him today, and I decided to write about him. And I don't know if any of you guys remember my earlier videos, but I talked about him, I think, in one of my videos, because that was the first year that we celebrated his death anniversary, so it was kind of a big impact on me, and I wasn't used to it. Not that I was used to it, but it was still really fresh in my life, and it was really hard for me. And yeah, that was my uncle that I talked about in a video, if I ever did. Yeah, before I get into my diary entry, I just want to give you guys some background information about him. So I remember meeting him when I was 3 years old because he came here from the Philippines, and I was so terrified of him because he was this tall, handsome, young guy, and he just came storming into my grandma's apartment, and I hid behind the washing machine because my grandma never wanted to go to a laundromat, so she bought a washing machine in her house. And I don't remember much from that day, but all I remember is my uncle treating me and my brother like his own children, and he was an amazing person. And from when I was little, he would take me to the park with my brother, and when we were older, he would drive me to school, and he would talk to us in his house because we were always at my grandma's house, and my grandma and my uncle lived together, as well as my aunt. And we first found out that he had cancer because one night he was driving home and he didn't realize that he was getting a mild stroke as he was driving because he couldn't literally feel half of his body. And then from there it just got worse because he had to go to the doctor, and his doctor diagnosed him with cancer. He had a tumor in his liver, or his kidneys. I think it was his kidneys. And it was just the quickest 2 or 3 months of my life. And before I knew it, he passed away. And it was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever had to go through, because I've never had a death impact my life in such a emotional way ever. I've had a lot of people pass away in my life, but this one was something that really emotionally damaged me, and it was just a really hard year for me back in 2008, because that was also when my grandpa passed away, and yeah, it was hard. But I thought about him today, and I just feel like making this video because I just can't stop thinking about him. And you guys are a really big part of my life, so I kind of wanted to share it with you and just get out a lot of emotions. I feel like if I do, it'll help me move on in a way. So here I go. And you guys don't have to comment or anything, and don't feel like you have to feel sorry for me, because you don't have to, but I just want to get this out there. So thank you for listening. I was using the bathroom, then oddly enough, I started thinking of my uncle. I realized his death anniversary is in 2 weeks, and it's something I'll never accept or get used to. The same year my grandfather died. It didn't take much for me to pick up who affected me more. I'm not trying to be inconsiderate. It's just that I've accepted my grandpa's death. I came to terms that he was old and it was bound to happen. I just can't find the same feeling for my uncle. I wasn't prepared to find out that he had inflaming cancer, deteriorating his kidneys, therefore filtering into his liver, lungs, and brain. Following that, I wasn't prepared to know that he had been cheating on my aunt for so many years, took cocaine, and had kids in another country. More importantly, I wasn't prepared for his death. I was more angry and disgusted with him that I held that against him and never visited him. Then it was too late. He passed away before my eyes. I can't even remember when he was diagnosed with cancer. As I was in my bathroom, I started crying because I was just so mad. Excuse me. I was so mad at myself. Every time I think about it, I can't help but feel this way. Why did I have to be so mad? Why did I choose his side? It was because he meant so much to me and I just felt betrayed. With my grandfather, I loved him for being my grandfather. However, my uncle, on the other hand, I loved him for being a support, for loving me and being so strong. He's always had that place in my life, so to find that he lived a double life tore me apart. I didn't cry when I found out he died. I refused to speak at his wake. I didn't ever think this bitterness lived inside me. I've just never had a death have such an impact on my life before. And here I am still living with this regret that I never got to see him before he died and to tell him that I loved him. In actuality, I ended up crying like a baby before I left his wake. I wonder why you creep into my mind sometimes. It makes me think that maybe you're in my presence. You probably want to be around me, and I want more than anything this dream. I don't remember when, but I know it was probably a couple of days after he passed away. And I was in his house, and I was in the kitchen, and my whole dream was mute. I didn't hear anything, but I saw him there, and he was just walking past me, and I was calling his name, but he wouldn't look at me, and he wouldn't talk to me, as if I was just a ghost. And I can't help but feel like he's mad at me for letting my anger get the best of me sometimes, because it did, and I can't deny that, because when I found out that all the things that he did behind everyone in my family, behind their backs, I was so mad, and I was so bitter, and I was thinking that he got what he deserved. And when I found out he died, I wasn't upset. I was just more surprised, and just more about thinking about what he did wrong. I don't know, I just contemplate all the time what it would be like if I were to just see him in the hospital before he left, and to just see him before I had to see him in his coffin. I never wanted my last "I love you" for him to be where he couldn't hear me, where it had to be my last "I love you" and my last goodbye. I just can't help sometimes to just feel like I'm such a bad person, because I was so angry, especially since he meant so much in my life. So for people sometimes to say that they don't have regrets in life, I don't believe that. A real human being makes mistakes, and a real human being makes mistakes that they're not proud of, and I should say, real human beings do things that they're not proud of. Because we're all not perfect, we're all here to learn. So for you to regret something, it's okay, because we don't have a plan in life, and not everything goes our way. We don't have a script. I just wish that, it didn't have to be this way, and that I just never got to hear him, and to know that, he was, I didn't get to let him know that I loved him. And I think that's my biggest regret. And it's sad, and sometimes it's like I don't even realize that he's gone. It's really bad, but I don't know. I don't think I'll ever come to terms with it. But he was an amazing guy, and I'll always remember him for that. I'll always remember that he was one of the strongest, greatest men I've ever known, and a father to me. And I don't know where he is, or I wonder if he's even in my presence, but I hope he knows that I love him and I miss him every day. And that I'm sorry for everything, for holding a grudge. I know he expected more from me, but I hope he's proud of me. Well, thank you, everyone. It's definitely been a tearful video, and I just want you to know that it's as cliche as this sounds. You should never throw away an opportunity to let the people you love in your life, let them know that you love them before it's too late. And always know that, and to those of you who've lost people in your lives, I'm sorry, and just know that they're proud of you, and be proud of yourself. And I know sometimes we tend to put the blame on ourselves. I know I do. But we'll learn eventually that it's not our fault. Hopefully. It's not that I think it's my fault. I just wish that I knew better. Because I know better. But, anyways, I love you all, and I'm here for everybody. And just know that I'm only a message or a comment away if you ever need to talk. So, thank you for listening, guys. And Happy New Year. Have a very, very Happy New Year with lots of blessings, new beginnings, friends, laughter, and adventure, and love.